Hey folks, Randy here with Dolan Cut and Trim. So I figured while I was out here working on this, there's something that's been on my mind that I've been wanting to talk about on this channel, and just I don't know, couldn't think of the right way to say it. But I think I got it. So when you first start in business, a lot of people will tell you that business plan is really important, that you need to work on your business plan, figure it out, and stick to it. And the hard thing about, or the frustrating thing when people tell you that, is, at least in my situation, I didn't have enough experience to really appreciate that advice. And so they're saying, you need to figure out a business plan. I was like, I don't even know what my business plan is. My business plan is to make as much money as possible. And so, trying to create a business plan and stick to it, at least for me, was basically impossible my first year. I was able to form something of a business plan my second year, but it wasn't really till this year, full time, that I was able to formulate something that's actually worked for me and helped me to grow. My business plan is, honestly, it's based off of making sure that I can make as much money as possible while still being there for my family when I need to be. And so a major part of that is restricting the locations that I work in. I did a really good job of restricting where I'm willing to go this year, but I didn't do a good enough job, and actually next year I'm going to be restricting it even more. I think I've mentioned on previous videos, I did break the 100 customer active customer threshold, and of those customers, I would say about 90 of them are in the 3-city area that I actually want to work in, which would be Pasadena, Brooklyn Park, and then primarily Glen Burnie. And so that's worked really well for me. I never have to travel far. When it rains, it's pretty easy to make up the dates. And so I've done a really good job of sticking to that. But this past month, I got greedy and violated my business plan, and it caused me a lot of problems and a lot of heartache that if I had just stuck with my plan, I could have avoided. Without getting into a whole lot of details, there was a company, well, actually getting into basically no details, there was a company that wanted to work together on some things, and I agreed. It was going to add about 15 lawns to my schedule, and they would have worked out to, I think an extra $1,500 a month to the business. And so I was like, well, shoot, that's easy, I get that. And but the problem was, they were all either completely out of my service area or just like all on the edge. I mean, they were all pretty close, but of the 16 yards, only 4 of them were in my actual service area. The rest were outside of it. And so I did it. I took it on, and immediately it was a problem, just immediately. They were all farther away, which meant dealing with the rain was an issue. We've had record rainfall this year in Maryland. I think the record for Maryland is a total of 61 inches, I think. And I think we're already at like 50 something in the beginning of September. It's been a crazy year. And so by going outside of my business plan, I had all these extra lawns that were not in my service area, and it made servicing them very difficult, and it caused issues. It caused issues for that company. It caused issues for me. And so, fortunately for me, I realized the problem 2 weeks into it, and I ended the relationship with that business. But it's one of those things, like, I'm not happy with how it ended. I mean, we basically ended with both parties having a bad taste in their mouths. I took on work that I shouldn't have taken on, and it just caused them issues, because you want stability in your business, and they rightfully thought they would have stability working with me, and it turned out they didn't, because we should have never worked together to begin with. But if I had just stuck to my business plan, this never would have happened. I would have at most taken 4 of his yards, and he probably would have just found somebody else to work with, and everything would have been fine. But because I didn't stick to my business plan, it caused problems for both of us. I actually ended up, when it was all said and done, I ended up losing money on the deal, just because of other yards I wasn't able to get to. So it was just a bad decision all around. So I would really encourage you, figure out what your business plan is and stick to it. Because if you start going outside of your plan, or if you don't have one, you're going to put yourself in situations where you don't realize until it's too late that you're not making money. If I had stuck to the plan that I created, that was designed to boost my profits while still being there for my family when they needed me, the situation would never have happened. So I just wanted to pass that on to you guys. I hope it's helpful. Just, if you don't have a business plan, formulate one. And if you do have a business plan, stick to it. Don't let somebody talk to you, or don't put yourself in a situation where you're doing somebody a favor and messing yourself up. At the end of the day, it's business, and the only people you owe anything to is your own business. You're responsible for taking care of your family, you're responsible for taking care of your customers, and don't take on other people's problems if it's going to affect your ability to service the people you already have. That's what I did, and it wasn't a good situation, and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. And moving forward, seems like the other company's been able to work it out. I hope. But if I would have just stuck with my plan, that whole interaction would never have happened, and everything would have been fine. So just wanted to pass that on to you guys. I hope it's helpful to you. This is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Have a good one.